Hi everyone, this is Patrick Franklin. So looking forward to meeting you all a bit more on Monday. I thought I would leave a pre-record here of assessment 1. I'm hoping you can look over it before Monday because I won't talk too much about it then, because hopefully you've looked over it. So let me just read it through a little bit. Assessment 1, follow the rules, public domain thematic design. It's worth 50%. It's due at the end of week 5. There's no presentation for it formally. This assessment focuses on understanding and applying thematic public design principles to a more detailed area within an urban landscape structure plan. Your individual topic from Kate's course will be developed into thematic design principles that will guide the design process. This is such an interesting step along your year because it gives you great focus to this theme. It doesn't necessarily mean you will hold that for the rest of the year. You shouldn't be limited by it, but we want you to just focus in and come in at this scale at this time. Your group structure plan will be used as the base plan for this assessment, and the assessment is effectively the next more detailed stage of the structure planning process. Think of it this way. It's as if one design office has completed the structure plan package, and now different design offices, now you as an individual, are undertaking more detailed design packages for public domain areas within the structure plan. You'll individually select an area that will be further resolved based on thematic principles to demonstrate current design thinking of your topic, as well as typical public domain guidelines. We will go over this selection of area on Monday. Methods. Take note here because this section supplies you with a set of steps and some suggested techniques, also known as methods, to enable you to execute this assessment. In assessment 2, we'll call what's called break the rules. Mike set these assessments up and they're terrific. And in assessment 3, you will write your own rules where you make the rules. But for assessment 1, you are going with the rules. Step 1. Oh, that's what I did want to say. It's a sequential process. You cannot do the week 2 tasks until you've done the week 1 tasks. If you don't move with purpose and make decisions each week, you'll fall behind and it will be difficult to catch up. Step 1, choosing your site. Needs to contain the following criteria: be approximately 0.25 of hectares in size, about 50 metres in length, 18 to 30 metres wide. Do not be concerned about how this space and street were designed in the structure plan, because you'll be redesigning these spaces based on your individual topic. There's a whole list of real-life examples there. Very importantly, we want your selection of space to contain building edges in all drawings listed in the submission requirements. And ideally, the public space plan should show building edges on all 4 sides. The street will have buildings along the length of the plan. The focus of this assessment is the urban public domain, urban streets and urban public spaces. So step 2 we'll also be doing in week 1 on Monday. We'll begin it. You'll prepare a concise, scholarly written thematic scope that draws on the topical knowledge acquired in Kate's course. You may borrow heavily from essays prepared in that course. And this scope will have 2 parts. Number 1, statement of purpose, and number 2, thematic principles and techniques that seek to test this knowledge within the selected area. Step 2.1, the statement of purpose. So if you read over this, it really does tell you what to do. Use the following headings to structure your statement of purpose. Topic. What is your topic and why is it important for cities generally? This should be objective and anchored in the literature and demonstrate that you understand the body of knowledge relevant to your topic. This should be about 100 words and include at least 2 references. Cite. Why is the topic important for the study area? Use the literature, including government reports, to provide a rationale on the relevance of the topic to this specific study area. And this should be about 100 words and include at least 2 references. Step 2.2, the thematic principles and techniques should include 2 design principles of the topic. Principles are higher order strategies of the topic that are widely agreed in the literature, and these should follow logically from your statement of purpose. For example, the Inner West Greenway has 5 principles. The first 2 are the most fundamental to all greenways, that is urban bush care and sustainable transport. There are 3 design techniques for each principle. Design techniques will be undertaken to achieve the principle. These are specific, simple, and can be measured. Your techniques need to be testable within the site area outlined in step 1. Each technique should have a reference to demonstrate it's based in the current body of knowledge. Remember, follow the rules. That's what this is really called, this assignment. Your design techniques should include a what and a why. For example, the New South Wales Walking Space Guide has recommended footpath widths for 5 different types of streets. The width would be your what, and the description of the conditions this enables would be your why. Choose simple techniques. The complexity and challenge will come when integrating all 6 in one space. Step 3, which will move into week 2. You'll analyse your site through the lens of your topic principles and techniques. The analysis should graphically articulate the opportunities and constraints. I will begin to start talking to a term I like to use called fundamental assets and abiding events. And that will come up a little bit over the term. Posed by the site conditions and the structure plan in terms of achieving your principles. They should take into consideration design guidelines relevant to your topic and the public domain in general. Step 3.1, prepare your 1 to 200 at A2 analysis base plan. Do not, I'm just going to zip through this a little bit. The subdivision from the group structure plan must remain the same. This means that street and property boundaries cannot be changed. In week 2, you'll bring a draft hand-drawn analysis over the top of your base plan. That's really important. This draft analysis should convey the questions you've been asking during your analysis. What techniques fit easily enough? Where might they be located? How do they conflict? Etc., etc. Step 4, design iterations. And this will carry over week 3 and 4. Week 3 is our, sorry, I'm just double checking. Week 3 is the public holiday week, and we'll have a catch up individual teams bookings that week on the Thursday, and week 4 will be a site visit. So I'll work out how we're going to do that on site, as well as having looking over work. A minimum of 3 hand-drawn iterations showing different possible configurations of your plan will be brought to class in week 3, actually on the Teams call, followed by another minimum of 3 in week 4, actually on the site visit. Each plan needs to test the techniques in different ways. They are not intended as resolved schemes. The iterative drawing process will show you where techniques work together or do not work together. Therefore, each iteration will demonstrate conflicts and potential trade-offs. The subsequent iterations should explore options to resolve these conflicts. In this process, you will learn how iterative drawing itself is a form of feedback. You cannot know how potential design might work until you draw a first option. This shows you what might work and what might not. So to try something else and so on. If you're really stuck, try something else. Maybe another part of the site. The main thing is to keep drawing, keep drawing. In week 3, there'll be a substitute session, as I said, on the Thursday due to the Monday public holiday. 4.1, documenting your iterative process. Document your 1 to 200 hand-drawn iterations by consistently framed photographs. For the final submission boards, you will choose 6 iterations to be included as a series of process drawings reduced in size. Your structure plan will sit before the 6 iterations, same site, same scale, and the final thematic landscape plan at the end. In total, this will make 8 drawings at the same scale, illustrating your design process. So step 5 in week 4 and 5, design resolution. You'll achieve design resolution through iterative drawing and exploration, self-critique and tutor feedback. You'll need to be onto this because you'll be drawing these up in CAD. The thematic landscape plan should exemplify current design thinking on the topic and integrate existing qualities of the site where possible. That's where I'd be thinking you'd include fundamental assets. You'll communicate your final scheme using the list of drawings outlined under submission requirements. Step 6, a series of referenced photographs of real places. So these are your precedent images. They should include spatial structure planning and materials. Make sure you reference them. You'll have chances to get photos if you don't on the site visit. Submission requirements. It's very laid out for you. There's no verbal presentation, so it's a standalone poster presentation. Name your PDF the following way. 3 A1 boards, portrait, and submit as separate PDF pages, not one banner. I'll have the thematic scope in font no smaller than 14-point Arial. The 1 to 5,000 key plan showing location design area within the structure plan. The 1 to 200 site analysis. 1 to 200 public space plan. Remember your contours, remember your contours, remember your contours. Did I say remember your contours? 1 to 200 public space section. We love a section. Make sure you show what's happening under the ground. 1 to 100 street section with plan underneath. Remember to label the street width and street components and measurements. Process drawing series and precedent image series. Public domain reference projects. Below, there's a whole range of them. They're also on the Leganto. Some of them, I think, the websites have expired, so they might need a little bit of jumping around. About 4 or 5 of them, I think. But have a look over them and start to get to know them. We'll talk through them a little bit in week 1 and 2. The marking rubric is laid out clearly. Thematic scope, analysis, process and progress, public space plan, public space section, street section, and precedent images. That's it, people. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. And it's bye from Patrick.